All right, we're back in the shop today, and we're starting project number 5. And we really don't know how this is going to turn out, but we're going to start off with these 4 legs that we picked up some time ago, probably in a pile of a bunch of other stuff that we picked up from salvage. And they've got a slight curve to them. They measure out to be about 28 inches in length, and they're in really good shape, other than they're kind of beat up a little bit. You can see that. So what I've done here is I've sanded 2 of them down already, and to keep that old kind of look to them, I have no idea how old these are. They were doweled together and miter fit, so my guess is that they've got some age to them, but they're definitely put together with a machine. So what I did was, as I sanded, and I don't know if you can see this here, I leave a little bit of a hint of the stain and the original color into the wood, and then we've got that dark line that exists in the groove here. So you don't want to sand too deep and you see there's some nicks in here, but you don't want to sand to the point where you've got it right back to brand new wood, or you're going to lose the look that you're after. So we've got 2 of them done. You can see there, and that kind of shows you the curve at the bottom. The bottoms are in really good shape, so we don't have any problems there. And we'll put a little foot on the bottom here, a little pin foot, but when we're done. But you can see I've got 2 done, and I'm going to go ahead and finish the other 2, and then we'll put it together to make a base. Probably going to end up with a cute little hall table or something, but I'm not finished creating yet in my head, so sometimes things come to me as I work. So anyway, that's where we're at so far, and I'm going to sand these, and I'll be back to show you what they look like when we're done. Alright, so we're all sanded up, all 4 of them, as you can see here. They came out quite nice. No big flaws in them. There's a couple little dents here and there, but this is just going to add to the character. We just left the dowels in, we sanded them down flush, left those grooves in because we're going to hide them when we put a fence on the side. And I think what we're going to put together here is a little hall table. We've got a nice little bit of finished walnut kicking around, so we're going to do a little hall table, maybe suitable for a vase or something, maybe to sit in the corner. And we're going to put a little shelf in it, and maybe do something funky with the shelf if I can find something to use to add a little character to it. So we'll see how that goes. But our next step is to put a frame together for the top so that we've got something to bolt to our table. So I'm going to go get some wood, and we'll put that together, and then we'll be ready to put a top on it. Looking good so far. So what we've got here is a little piece of walnut. It's actually an offcut, and it's kind of been sprayed already. It's an offcut from a larger piece that we had done for a console table, and we had put the table together, and then we sold it, and the person said it was too big, so they wanted a bit cut off. So we've got this little bit of live edge. We've got the 2 edges, a little bit of sap coloring on the side. And what I'm doing is I'm just squaring it up right now on the portable table saw here to get us a top so that we can make ourselves a cute little table. So what we're going to do is, once we've got that ready to go so that we can start taking some measurements, we've got some walnut trim here. I've got a couple of 8-footers here that are about 2.5 inches wide by 3/4, I think they are. So we're going to use those to build ourselves a little frame for our table, and maybe put a little shelf in it. We'll see how we feel. Alright, so I'm just going to finish cutting this up. I got to sand it back down, take the clear off it, round the edges out, and then we'll be ready to start putting it together. Okay, we're all sanded up. what I did was, there was quite a bit of clear on this, and it was really nice, and what I found was there wasn't many marks in it. So I just 220'd the clear, got it all scuffed up, cleaned the edges up, rounded them out a little bit, and it's ready to go. I don't have to take it right back to the bare wood, which will help me when it comes time to spraying. So it's come out really nice. So now we can start taking some measurements, because we know what size our top's going to be, and start building our base to fit our top. So I'm going to get started on that now. Alright, so we cut some cross pieces out of our trim, and we've made up two sides now. So we put a bottom piece in, because this kind of goes, I don't know if you can see that, but it goes across the bottom, and then there's one across the top. So looks good so far. We've got it, we kind of toe screwed it from underneath, filled in the holes. That way you don't see any visible marks or anything. So we got two of them. So now we're going to put the other pieces in. They're a little shorter, so that we've got a cube and a nice solid base to put our top on. So I'll be back in a second. I'll show you what that looks like. Well, there we have it. She's all together. We're cutting a shelf for it right now. So we've got a couple of little holes to fill, like up in here where the dowel was. And but we've got, it's nice and flat, square across the top. It stands really nice, and it looks kind of cool. So we're just gonna put some cross supports in the top to keep it at a 45, something that we can screw onto the top with. And we'll put a shelf on there, tack and glue it in place, give it a spray, and she'll be ready to go. This is just one of the things you can do with stuff that was slated for the garbage and really didn't have much of a purpose at all. And I think those legs were something that somebody was throwing out, and we had saved them here. And like I said, that off-cut top piece that's got some live edge on it, beautiful sap lines along the edge, was an off-cut from a longer console table that needed to be shortened for a customer. So it's going to be really cool, a cute little piece. And when I come back, it'll be all together and ready for spraying. So here we go. We've got it all together. I don't know if you can see that. We've put the top on. We just simply put 4 screws underneath with some cross supports. And what we did here was we took some strips and we just sanded them up, left a little bit of a gap, and thought we got a cool little modern look to our shelf. And that's our piece all put together. So I'm going to go ahead, I've got to glue these bottom bits on. Now that I've got them all sanded and I rounded the corners out, I glue them, tack them in place, and then we'll give it a little coat, a little spray, and we'll be back in a minute to show you what it all looks like. So here we are. We just sprayed it, so it's got a little bit of a shine to it, but that'll dull down once it dries. But we're all done. Put it together really quickly. Looks really cool. That's a lovely piece of live edge walnut on the top, and kind of gives you an idea. We think the legs are mahogany, and we made the shelf out of walnut, so it's a nice little contrast. It's a cool little piece, and it was kind of fun to do. And the fact that we made it all out of basically scrap, you know, puts it all together and makes it worthwhile. And it was a fun little project. Be gorgeous in a hallway with a vase on top with some flowers in it or something like that. But anyway, as always, our pieces are for sale. So if you're interested in this piece, you drop Amanda a line at EdenwoodFurniture@hotmail.com, and she'll be more than happy to get back to you and let you know how much it is. Alright, thank you for taking the time to watch, and we really enjoy making these videos. We hope they're beneficial and helpful, and they inspire you a little bit, and I hope it gives you an idea on some of the things that we can do. Currently, we've got on top here 2 slabs of 100-year-old hemlock that are about 17 inches wide and 72 inches long, and we're putting them together to do a desk for a customer. They had these in their barn. They were the floorboards from the barn, and they're going to make a desktop out of them, and I'm really looking forward to doing this, and maybe on our next video we'll give you a little peek on what it looks like. So anyway, thanks again. Hope to see you soon. You know, it's just April, beginning of April now, and we're going to start opening the shop up on the nicer weekends to sell some of our stuff on Saturdays. So there'll be more information on that as it comes available, and we hope that you can stop by and see us. So anyway, thanks again.